Hey, I've been getting a lot of the same question over and over again. So I just thought I would get on here and address it. If you want to know what I am, well, I'm your worst nightmare, first of all. If you can't figure out my gender, there's probably a reason for it. Did you ever think of that? Yeah, that's really all I want to say. Thank you so much for the comment and for boosting my video. Have a good day.
Meanwhile.
I am your worst nightmare. Thank you for asking.
If you want to know what I am,
you're a big, fat, curly-headed.
Now, why does that person, and this may be a bit of a stretch here, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a woman. Now, why does that woman keep making these TikToks where she claims to be everybody's worst nightmare? I mean, what a terrible descriptor to use for yourself. I don't want people thinking about me in a negative way like that. I would want people to say, yeah, he's nice and kind and generous and caring and funny, but worst nightmare? I mean, that seems kind of dark, doesn't it? But I guess if the shoe fits. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Just a really, really quick update on what's happening out there in clown world. And let me tell you, things are getting very weird. So let's get into it. Now, I often say on this channel that we are living in some kind of upside down, backwards, bizarro world.
Who lives in the backwards, bizarro world? Up is down, down is up. He says hello when he leaves, goodbye when he arrives.
And nothing proves my point better than this post I have on the screen here from the Wisconsin Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, also known as WAND. And keep in mind, as I read this post, the recipient of the award I will talk about is this young lady in the purple sundress. Keep that in mind. The post says, congratulations to our very own Professional Education Committee Chair, Emily Oshman, for receiving this year's WAND Recognized Young Dietitian of the Year.
Surely you can't be serious.
So a woman who is clearly in terrible physical health wins the Dietitian of the Year award. I mean, 5 years ago, I would not have believed it. I would have thought that was some parody headline from an outlet like the Babylon Bee or The Onion or something, but not today. Oh no, not today. Today we have people like Leah Thomas, aka Will, winning the NCAA Women's Athlete of the Year, so I would not expect anything less from these people. It all makes sense in Bizarro World. Anyway, one thing I will say about this gentleman is he seems really happy and upbeat and positive, which is the exact opposite that we see from most of these people. Roll the film, please.
I truly don't give a if you use the wrong pronouns most of the times. I'm not gonna correct you, because to me my pronouns are like an approximation. It's language that can never contain all of who I am. So when I say my pronouns are they, them, I'm just letting you know, yo, I would like for you to acknowledge the fact that I'm not a man or a woman, that I exist outside of this binary. But if you don't do that, that's your problem. It's not mine. You cannot misgender me because my gender is something that is personal and beautiful. Oh my God. The way that the energies flow through me that created whatever the we got going on over here is unique. It's unprecedented.
What the are you talking about?
Yo, I would like for you to acknowledge the fact that I'm not a man or a woman.
That doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. Anyway, he says he's not a man or a woman. And unfortunately, I just can't indulge. I can't indulge it because I don't live in the land of make-believe. So the best course of action for me is just to stay away. So, like I said, not indulge. So just to stay away because I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And where I stand on principles. I have a belief system that's based in truth and facts and reality. So I don't want to upset the guy, but I'm not going to veer from my belief system just for someone else's feelings. You guys get it. So I just stay away, stay in my own lane. Anyway, so here's another guy that thinks he can have a menstrual cycle. Roll the film.
Just a PSA to all my fellow trans girls out there on estrogen. We do, in fact, get periods. We do. It took me literally complaining about cramps to another trans woman for me to find out, but doctors don't tell you. Just talk to other trans.
What the are you talking about?
These guys always talk about getting cramps and then say, oh, it must be my time of the month. No, that's not it at all. It's probably all the burritos and Bud Light you had the night before. Wow. Jeez. Anyway, this next one, this has nothing to do with anything. It just shows you what a dumpster fire TikTok is. This guy calls himself the Farting Mermaid, and he just backstrokes around the pool dressed as a mermaid farting. That's literally it. Roll it.
That's f***ing disgusting.
So that TikTok of the Farting Mermaid went on for about another minute and a half. Now, there was a copyrighted song playing in the background, so I could only play that little snippet of it. However, you didn't miss anything. That was literally the whole TikTok, was him just backstroking and farting. That's it. That's it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Anyway, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this video loop on the screen. Now, I saw this on Twitter, and it was captioned, Tons of Anarchy. Tons of Anarchy. In all seriousness, much props to this guy for finding a bike with enough horsepower to haul him around out there on the open road. Good for him. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our great friend Eric Bosch, all the way from the Netherlands. Eric, thank you once again, sir, for sponsoring another video. I truly appreciate all the love and support. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. Ride safe, Big Huss.
It's funny because he's fat.
All right, guys, we are going to be wrapping it up on this one because I can't take any more, and I'm sure you guys can't either. We have had our maximum dose of brain aids for one day, so that's a wrap. So we're going to be ending it here with Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. And in this hearing, she is praising Joe Biden's Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg. Now, I featured Pete Buttigieg in a video yesterday where he was talking about how bridges and roads were racist. Now, I told you guys that it's obvious that Pete Buttigieg got that job simply for the fact that he literally, I mean, he got the job because he's gay. That's it. So anyway, she's talking about crash test dummies here and praising Pete Buttigieg's inclusivity with crash test dummies or some like that. Roll the film.
You also plan to make important investments to address the roadway safety crisis, including the critical funding that would accelerate the development. And this is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety and crash victims.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a idiot.
And you ain't black.